I spent 1000 days in my Minecraft Forever world, and now I've made a 1000 days full movie. But I hate when other YouTubers just slap all their episodes together with no additional editing and call it a movie. So I've made sure to edit everything down and add some extra editing to keep it a bit shorter and more entertaining. If you do want to watch every episode fully, there's a playlist on my channel you can check out. So whether you're new to the series and want to catch up so far, or you've seen all the videos and just want to rewatch it, enjoy this 1000 days full movie. You're currently watching me give birth to a world that I'm going to be spending my next 1000 days in. Some may call it incest, but I call it commitment. I saw a big hole,
nice,
punched some turtles, and checked out the spawn area. Take a good look at this spawn. By the end of this video, it's going to be filled with buildings. I then fell down a hole and realized I should probably work on getting some gear. And I mean, there's melons around, so I guess that's a food source for now. Let's explore that cave area up there, that looks cool. Whoa, that's so deep.
That's what she said!
Okay, and now I am way more equipped. Once I had some stone tools, I murdered a whole family of sheep and committed child abuse. Now that I had a bed, I felt pretty safe to go out and explore beyond just the spawn chunks. Ooh, a shipwreck! I found a treasure map, some armor trims, and my first pieces of iron. The treasure map led me to more iron, some gold, and a bunch of other goodies, which meant I could now make the best items in the game, a water bucket and a shield. As the sun set for the first time in this world, I got some rest, oblivious to just how well the next day would go. Yo, is that another boat? Oh, and a village! I couldn't find the chest in the shipwreck, so I gave up on that and went straight to the village. I made good friends with the residents there. What's up, bro? I'm gonna enslave your whole village one day, I hope you know that.
Oh no! Anyway.
Then killed their only defense against the horrors of the night and stole all their food. Suck it, nerds! I eventually came to a desert where I found another village. I got a better colored bed, more iron, then left and accidentally sailed past a monument. Bro, really? I didn't even notice that was a monument. Okay, it's only like 700 blocks away from spawn. Okay, we got a forest over here. With my newfound mining fatigue effect, I spent a total of 2 minutes breaking my bed while saying some pretty sus things. POV, you are my meat.
What did he say? Stop it. Get some help.
But that wasn't even the sussest thing that happened. After finding another village, I got sexually harassed by a villager. Hey, can I buy some wood? Oh no, not that kind of wood, holy crap. I then risked all my progress so far with a water bucket clutch. Oh, okay, I could have died there. But I made it cause your boy's just too good. I mined up some ores in the cave and found my first few diamonds. Now, when I recorded this, they had just started bundles, so my next goal was to make some up to clean up my inventory. Hey yo, there's a group of your mom over there. Got him. I got him. I did, I got them. I got my bundles and continued exploring a bit. Whoa, oh my gosh, bro. What is that cave system? I reckon I can make this jump? Yup. Oh, I'm so glad there was a waterfall there. There is so much iron down there. It is beautiful. Imagine making your base in here. Anyway, I can't stick around. I got places to be, people to do, so...
What do you mean by that?
Let's head back to spawn. So I headed back to spawn, then made a temporary chest wall to keep all my stuff in. But I'm still lonely, so I killed an anorexic guy for his boner, then fed it to a wolf to get a best friend forever. Suck it, real life, I finally have a friend! Now it was time to begin building up my empire in this world, and I can do that by making a base. I spent a little while flattening I spent a little while flattening the spawn beach, mining up some obsidian from a lava pool, then setting up a small farm so I can have a renewable food source. Now for this house, I wanted to lean into the beach aesthetic, so after testing out some different block pellets, I set it on a bit of a sandcastle design. But first, I needed to collect some resources. I began a small bamboo farm, found a zombie dungeon nearby, and mined up a buttload of sand. I then began construction on the sandcastle. It's basically just a big box, but as a wise man once said, whether it's a dirt hut or a diamond mansion, once you place the furnace next to a crafting table, you have the legal right to commit tax evasion. Wait, that's not how it goes. I made a roof, but it looked goof, so poof, now it's looking fresh as juice. Now I had a house that was beautiful on the outside, but pretty ugly on the inside, just like every popular girl in school. I needed a bunch of wood for my chests, so after some mass deforestation, I moved the storage into the house and put some jack-o'-lanterns for light. The house has a second floor where I'll eventually put an enchanting table, but for now, it was good enough. One thing I need to do first though is get some soul sand for my water elevator. So I built this simple nether portal and surprisingly got a pretty nice spawn. Okay, this actually ain't too bad. Yeah, this is like a decent spawn. After a bit of exploring, Sus Dynamics made another appearance. I want you. I want you. I want your balls. I got my much needed soul sand and built up the elevator. Okay, next thing on my list is I do want to grab a couple more skeletons because I want another doggo. Ah, there's one. What's up, dude? Thanks for your boner.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Here's one. Hi, doggo. Be mine. Oh, dude, one bone. Oh, legendary. After forcing my new dog to breed with my other one, I now had a baby doggo. I also stripped a bunch of birch logs which worked really well as a path on the sand. Next, I made a cow crusher so I can get leather for books, and farmed up some wood to turn those books into bookshelves. And now the enchanting table was done. I then spotted a skeleton horse trap, and with my insane Minecraft skills, I took it on with no issues. Okay, maybe one issue. But unlike those skeletons, I can respawn, so I clapped their bony cheeks and made a pen for my new horse friends. Why the long face? I also built up this simple stone generator so I can get stoned whenever I want. Hey, you guys know what's better than a stone generator? Slavery! And the best way to get slaves is through an orphan farm. The design is very human. I built up a massive farm in the sky, then got some victims from a nearby village to lock up and force them to make babies. The farm works great, but I can't say the same for how it looks. So a little bit of stone and birch later, it looks slightly less arse. And I added a roof to top it all off. Literally. With my new villagers, I made up a small hut for them to live in, then went crazy getting a bunch of cats which were spawning around it. Once I get my favourite variant, the black cat, I'll eventually kill all of these other ones and replace them. But for now, they can live. Speaking of animals, I thought it was about time for a sheep farm, which I also made, and a chicken farm so I can have infinite eggs. It looks like Among Us now. As suggested by a viewer, I built up a small tower on the top of my house to make it feel a bit more epic. Here's how it turned out. It looks pretty cool. But we've been going pretty fast, so here's a quick checkpoint. Go grab some water, drown your little brother, and take a deep breath. All refreshed? Nice. Let's keep going. I made a kelp farm. I've always liked kelp as a fuel source. It's super easy to make early game, and it's quick to farm up. Speaking of farming, let's make a simple zombie farm with the spawner I found earlier. I filled in the walls and the floor of the main room and put some chests in to keep the zombie drops. In the past I've mainly just made skeleton farms where I need a lot of storage, but zombies don't really drop anything useful, so to this day all those chests are still empty. I put in some tinted glass so I can see when zombies spawn, and added another enchanting setup since I'll be doing all of my early game enchanting down here. Now we're really getting into the grind. While the beginning of this world was filled with exploration, now we've kind of shifted into making farms and getting good gear. So to follow along with that progress, I'm making good use of my slaves from earlier by building a villager trading hall, so we can get emeralds, books, and diamond gear. It's a simple design, but it looks pretty good, so once I got all those nerds where they belong, the trading hall was complete. But what use is a trading hall if you don't have an easy way of getting emeralds? I'm the type of Minecraft player that hates mining wood. Don't get me wrong, I love wood, but I just hate mining it. So ever since Mojang's sexy little buns added bamboo wood, it's quickly become one of my favourite plants. If I want to make this an automatic bamboo farm though, I'm going to need either honey or slime. Slime isn't really viable at this stage in my world, so a honey farm will have to do. I don't usually go crazy with making builds look nice, but you'll notice throughout this world I slowly get more and more interested at leveling up my building skills. So I tried texturing the walls of the bee farm with all the stone variants, then added jungle logs for support beams and spruce stairs for the roof. It is a massive building though for just such a small bee farm, but then again, you know what else is massive? Once the outside was looking sexier than a fireman calendar, I spanked the iron giant for some poppies and planted them inside. And now the bee farm was pretty much complete, so I can get honey blocks to make up that bamboo farm. It's a simple design. There's a flying machine that breaks the bamboo, and a minecart system underneath to collect it all. With this new farm, I can trade a bunch of sticks with Fletcher villagers for mega profits. So that's what I did, trading sticks for emeralds and emeralds for diamond gear. I also zoned out for a few hours at the zombie farm. It took a while, but I finally got full enchantments on my gear, so now I was feeling ready to raid a Nether Fortress and make a manual blaze farm. After making my way to the fortress, I fought off a singular wither skeleton and got a wither head on my first try. That's pretty crazy! But it's not what we're here for. We're here for nether wart, soul sand, and blaze rods. The full potion preparation package. I killed some hot guys for their rods, then found their spawner, so I sealed off a small room to kill them in. With my newfound blaze rods, I could make up some ender chests, which means I just unlocked a premium subscription to cloud storage. Back to the fortress though. I made this minecart rail that takes me all the way to the spawner, and it looks pretty cool in the process. Since I'm planning to not use an elytra in this world, I'm going to be making a lot of transport systems to take me to my different farms and stuff. And even though it's a little bit slower, I think it's a little bit more fun than actually using an elytra. Anyway, at the end here, I got this door, and there's where I can kill the blazes when they spawn. A couple other things, I died. I died in lava on stream. I'll find a clip of it that I'm going to put up right now. So yeah, as you can see, I died by obsidian trapping myself, which was a massive kick in the balls considering just how long this armor took to get using a basic zombie farm. You'll notice from this point on that I always keep a fire res potion in my inventory, and this here is exactly the reason for that. But I grinded, got all of my gear back, and even made this pathway right here that goes all the way up to bedrock, and then I also broke a bit of bedrock. By building this tunnel to the nether roof, I unlock so many different farm opportunities and a much faster path for transportation through the nether. At this point in time, the Happy Ghast was near to being added, so I wanted to make a ghast farm to be able to get infinite Happy Ghasts when they came out. In order to build it, I needed wither roses, so I got the remaining 2 wither heads I needed on stream, hatched some chickens, and spawned it in. I'm gonna go 1, I'm gonna go 2... Ignore that fail, I'll cut that out of the video, don't worry. 2. And then, drink up a strength pot. Ready? 3, 2, 1, 3. It was an incredibly easy fight. I got all the wither roses I needed, so I brought some resources through the nether and began building the farm. The amount of times I went back and forth because I kept forgetting resources was kinda concerning. I just realized I did not bring enough stone bricks. I needed double the amount that I brought. Yay, I'm so glad I get to run all the way back home now. Oh no, I want more redstone. I gotta go back. Oh, you are kidding me, bro. I'm missing like 1 powered rail right now. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go back. But in the end, the farm was made, and so was the giant AFK tower. In 10 minutes, the farm got me 15 tiers, so I think it was definitely worth it. I haven't really shown it yet, but every time I saw a cat near my base, I murdered it in hopes of improving the chances of getting a black cat. And finally, it paid off. I got a black cat, and by breeding it with other cats, I can now get as many black cats as I want. I also brought my nether portal up to the roof, got a speedy horse to use for nether roof travel, broke some extra bedrock to make the tunnel look a bit nicer, and fixed up the ghast farm to make it look a bit more aesthetic. That night I looked in the mirror, ashamed of who I was. I had built a ghast farm before a proper iron farm.
Who does that?
I had to make it right. So here's the plan. This weird ass setup has to go. Now that I have the black cats, I don't need any more to spawn. So I destroyed this orphanage and committed mass murder. In Minecraft. Also, no idea what I started saying here, but for some reason, this happened when making the iron farm. Hey yo, it's my favorite guy. Let's see what you got. Ooh, Nautilus shells. And I was gonna say luckily I have plenty of emeralds, but I have actually 0. But yeah, that means I will need a bunch more emeralds, which means I'm gonna need to do this bamboo farm. I mean, I'm not gonna do the bamboo farm. That would be sus. I'm gonna like run the bamboo farm. After saying some interesting stuff about bamboo, I started on the iron farm. I built up the foundation, put in the beds, got some villagers from the breeder, and lastly put in a zombie. Now just for safety, I'm gonna drag him across here, because I got Thorn's armor on, and if he hits me, then he's gonna lose some health. Okay, that's perfect. All I need to do is get him in that hole. Crap, he's not gonna go in, is he? Shit. Oh! That was so much easier than I thought. And with a bit of decoration, the farm was complete and looking beautiful as ever. Like your mom! In case you haven't noticed, a lot of builds I've made so far require powered rails. The bamboo farm, the fortress tunnel, the ghast farm. It may not seem like it, but because of this, I've been constantly searching for gold. Watch out boys, I'm a gold digger. So as King Ballsucker II once said, why mine for the gold when you can make the gold mine for these nuts? I have no idea what bro was on about there, but that quote gave me the idea to make a gold farm. So I went ahead and got all the resources I needed, and also bred up some turtles for turtle eggs. And here we go, bro is spazzing out, what the hell? Oh my gosh, I don't think he's meant to be doing that. Or she, I guess. Yoink. Thank you for your children, goodbye. And now that I got everything I need, I can actually start building the farm. Just like the Ghast Farm, it looked pretty arse at first. Though I covered it up with some stone brick and deep slate, and now it looks slightly less arse. We've been building a lot of farms lately, and it's getting kinda boring. So for this next project, I took a step back and whipped out my ultimate dream. A basement! Not just any basement, this is a sex dungeon. Wait, hold up. Sorry, wrong script. This is the ultimate Great Dynamics man cave basement. I went for a bit of a dark theme, and eventually I'm going to put the dragon egg in here, so a pink and black vibe will definitely suit the aesthetic. I traded with piggies for some crying obsidian, then made up some end crystals to keep on display. I had to be so careful with this because one misclick of these crystals could be a disaster, but I got them in and put some glass in front. Next I needed some magenta dye for the candles. I am bone mealing a sheep's butt. I also want a secret button down here that leads to a mining section, so I came up with this piston tactic which worked perfectly. I finished decorating, then made the mineshaft tunnel and put a beacon down there that I got from the Wither all those days ago. I also put a couple of dogs and cats in a little viewing window, and then the basement was finished. Now, I may seem like a man who has his life together, but I still have mega PTSD from that one lava incident, so I decided to hop on the netherite train so that if it ever happens again, I won't lose my gear to lava. Using a mix of TNT and just mining around, I eventually found all the ancient debris I needed. The gold side of things was incredibly easy with my gold farm, but the netherite upgrade was quite the opposite. I just gotta stick to the walls and take them out from above. I started by boiling down all the roots from the top, then dug under the lava and did the same at the bottom. I eventually made it to the chest, got the upgrade, and ran right out of there. With the upgrade in my possession, I went mining for diamonds so that I can duplicate it. Not only did I make one set of armor, but I also made 2 other sets to put in my basement. Great! Good stuff, guys! We did so well with this whole world. Now let's actually find the stronghold, because I'm over 600 days in this world and still haven't been to it. After locating the end portal, I made a path to it through the nether roof and linked it up to my Ghast Farm path since it's on the way. I then proceeded to make a literal masterpiece out of this room using mossy stone and other lush plants. The candles give it a miniature end pillar look and the whole build gives off an overgrown vibe. But the days of being an artist are over for me. Now, I'm a warrior, a force to be reckoned with, an absolute Sigma male with the biggest balls you've ever seen. Yes, that's right. It's dragon time. Dragon D's nuts on your face! I hopped in the portal. My palms were sweaty, knees weak, inventory's heavy. It's time to slay the dragon already. So I bowed down the crystals, then I bowed down the dragon. It was a quick fight, but that's pretty understandable considering I have the best gear in the game. I collected my XP and put the egg on display in my basement. For too long I've had to deal with the shitty zombie farm for XP, but no more. I'm putting my foot down and whipping out my big boy shoes. It's time for the Game Changer, also known as the Enderman Farm. But first I have to build down to Y0. No, I'm not gonna- Shit, I butchered it. Oh no, all my netherite gear is safe. Yeah, I'm not that stupid. I knew this was risky without an elytra, so my netherite gear is stored safely away, and I'm using diamond gear while building this. I still lost my diamond gear, so now I guess I'm using iron gear. I bridged out like 2 stacks and built a bubble elevator to get up and down. I made up a standard enderman farm, then a potion of regeneration and some gapples so I can safely spawn an endermite. I named him the most reasonable name I could think of, Nutsack, then finished up the farm. On my way down I had a pretty close call with the enderman. Uh-oh. Oh. I mean, there's one way to do it. Holy crap. Dudes, relax, man. Oh my gosh. But my quick thinking allowed me to think quickly think of a thought that helped me think thoughts to quickly fix the current issue at hand. If you didn't know, Endermen are double carpet phobic, so I finished it off with a carpet roof to prevent them from teleporting. Now I had ender pearls for travel and all the XP I could ever need. Too bad the XP isn't portable, so I made a warden farm. The Skulk Catalysts act as a portable source of XP which could come in handy if I ever desperately need XP. Also, I'm planning on going out to explore this world a bit more soon, so portable XP sounds like a good idea. I died many times when making this farm because rather than being sneaky in the deep dark, I took the take off all your armor and just tank the deaths approach. It worked, and now I had a warden farm. Then Mojang pulled down their pants and whipped out something big. It was the Chase the Skies update, which meant the Ghast Farm could be put to good use. I made up just a few dried ghasts, and waterlogged one. While waiting for it to exist, I made a little home for it. Cool, that works cool, it's a staircase. Wow, nice. Then put a harness on him and got depressed at how slow he was. As mentioned, I'm planning for an exploration adventure soon, and whilst the original idea was to take the Ghast on that adventure, this speed just wouldn't cut it. But that's okay, Ghasty will come in handy at some point in the future, I'm sure of it. I then wanted to work on my building a bit, so I made a cozy little fishing hut by the ocean. And also a bridge and pathway to get to it. Now it was time to say goodbye to my base, because it was almost time to leave everything behind to go explore the world. I filled my ender chest with so much storage for the trip, then shed a tear as I hopped into the boat and sailed off into the night. Oh, guys, it's water break time again. Now go drown your sister. Hope you're loving the video so far. It's taken so long to go through all these videos again to voice over and re-edit it, so if you are enjoying this movie, smash all the buttons below and shoot me a comment. Let's continue. Hey gamers! Emphasis on the gay. I'm homeless and just came to a desert. Now I'm breeding a camel. Baby camel! Oh, he's so small. Let's go. Now I'm collecting buried treasure. Yes, haha. You can just tell because it's just the weirdest terrain generation. Nice. Hey, look at this goofy looking mountain cave. Okay, I should be able to water up. Oh bro, I'm feeling so queasy up here. It's so high up. After many thousands of blocks, I stumbled across a village where I found a mangrove swamp. I think this is a good time to mention my list. I have a book of things that I want to find on this trip. The mangrove swamp was one of them. So is an outpost, which I also just found. And some frogs, which I also just found. I brought the frogs back to the nearby village and bred them up to collect their tadpoles. Then went on my way and set up camp in a small coral structure. I awoke in my little coral cabin, eager to tick some more things off my list today. If I had $1 for every shipwreck I found on this journey, I'd probably have enough money to afford therapy. I found a horse, rode the horse, then abandoned the horse. A few villages later I decided to raid a monument, but only got like 6 sponges before I got mining fatigue, so that happened. And in case you were wondering, this is my first time seeing snow in this world, and we're legit 13,000 blocks away from spawn. Regardless, the white stuff was also on my list, so I dug some up, then built a cozy log cabin to spend the night. Alright, now with the interior, let's start at 1 in, would probably look nice, gives it a bit of depth. Yeah, it looks alright. Alright, it is getting dark, so I can work on the interior. Okay, nice, I have a couple of pieces of glass, so I can use that. And now I can see all the people that want to kill me. Okay, I might seal off these corners here, because that section is pretty useless anyway. I actually really liked this cabin, and was sad to leave it, but I still had Allays and sniffer eggs on my list, so I didn't have time to stick around. The next morning I woke up in my house of wood. Some may call it morning wood. I said goodbye and went on my way. After hours of searching, I finally found an outpost. Oh, please, 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 Allays, please, Allays, please, 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 please. But my Allays celebration was quickly cut short when I realized what this meant. Bring these guys home meant I would have to, well, bring them home, straight away. So as I slowly brought them back, my exploration journey came to a close. Oh my gosh, it's taken so long, but I finally got these guys back home. That was like 30,000 blocks, but we made it. Yeah, now I can chuck these guys both against this fence in my base. Alright, so the adventure was maybe a little bit short-lived. I realized when I found the Allays, oh wait, I'm probably gonna have to go straight home with these guys. But I still had just one more thing on my list, and that was the sniffer egg. I searched far and wide, but just as I was about to give up, I realized there was just one more place I hadn't checked. There was an ocean ruin right next to my base that I hadn't checked, and you'll never believe what I found. With my new sniffer egg in hand, my journey was finally over, and I could return to living back at my base. Now I wanted to make a tower, not just any tower, a breeding tower. A place to breed my frogs and duplicate my Allays. For some reason, I was really into the look of lodestones at this point, so I insisted on making all the flooring out of them. I'm glad they can be made with iron now, but honestly the stone was the main thing that I didn't have enough of. I settled on this 4-layered stone brick and spruce design, but the design is stackable so I can build more layers in the future if I ever want to. I started by getting the Allays in, giving them a jukebox and cat music disc to listen to. I then worked on the snow farm layer, which is literally just a snow golem with 0 freedom. Next was a pond to breed up frogs. This was my favourite layer because I have a frog fetish. I mean because it looked cool. And at the very top was the sniffer pen with a collection system that picks up any seeds that the sniffer finds. Here's a tour of all the tower layers. This base was coming along well, but it needed a central point, some sort of structure in the middle to tie it all together. So I made this fountain which contained an item disposal system so I can throw out my trash. Now that I had frogs, I also wanted to get a frog light, so I took this one frog into the nether to go eat a magma cube. My stream chat named him Jeremy, and once we returned home and put the frog light in my basement, I made a shrine for him. To make getting frog lights easier in the future, I built a small magma cube spawning platform on the nether roof. Then took a deep breath and looked at Jeremy's enclosure. Why is this frog living a better life than me? I'd been stuck with this sandcastle house for long enough, not to mention I was deep in a storage crisis. Not the only thing I was deep in. I'm talking about your mom! I was running out of storage room and desperately needed more. So I put on my builder hat and said, "Can we fix it?" And the voices in my head said, "Yes we can." Call me Bob the Builder because I'm bobbing my builder every day of the week. In English, I'm building a new house, yo. First thing I did was move my enchanting table next to the trading hall, which is where I do most of my enchanting anyway because that's where I get my books. Then I got to work tearing down my sandcastle house, making a bunch of mud, and building up a massive mud brick cube. On the inside I put a slime block player launcher, which is just a badass way to get to the second floor. And the reason I have a second floor is because now I have so much storage that I literally can't reach it all. I also made a more efficient auto smelter and decorated the outside. This was my new favorite build in this world, which worked out well considering it's my home. With a new house and plenty of storage, I am now much more equipped to start my next project. Probably my biggest build yet. A sex dungeon. Oh, sorry, wrong script again. I mean a brewing station. This bad boy was a lot of work, but it was 100% worth it. I started by spending 4 hours mining netherrack, then 8 more hours waiting for all of it to smelt. I built up a massive nether brick cube with the design of a chiseled nether brick on the front, and then got started on the interior. As you can see, it's got a fortress aesthetic with lava walls and nether wart, and it includes a chest and dropper for every single ingredient. It also has a potion recipe book and a hopper on a brewing stand to quickly make any potion I need. But this wasn't the whole build. There's a whole top floor that still needs to be built. This floor is where all the farms will go. Not only can we make every potion in this building, but we can also farm up almost every ingredient. I started by building a massive staircase on each side, and to do this, I hired the help of my friend Ghasty. See, I told you he'll come in handy at some point. I then made a turtle farm for Scoots using tuff. Looks pretty tough. And a rabbit breeder for rabbit's feet. I sure do love feet. Next door there's a fish farm for pufferfish. Something smells fishy. And a crop farm for carrots, melons and sugar. I sure do love melons. Attached to that there's a mushroom growing room with podzol. I love shrooms. And next to that one there's a stone generator for the newer infested potion. I love getting stoned. Do I ever run out of bad jokes? No, I do not. Over in the other corner I built another chicken farm with an auto dispenser system to hatch the eggs. I can use this as a kill chamber to get more slime with oozing and more cobwebs with weaving. Once again, Ghasty got some use, this time to bring villagers up, and I can use them as clerics for redstone and glowstone. I then spruced up the interior a bit, literally, by adding some spruce logs, and decorated some of the other rooms like adding prismarine to the fish farm and sand to the rabbit farm. As for spider eyes, there's a mineshaft right near this build, and even better, a spider spawner right under the corner. So I built this manual spider farm with a bubble elevator to get up and down. Since I have a chicken farm in this build now, I committed just a fraction of the crimes that Schlatt committed in 99 by murdering the chickens in my old farm, and replaced it with an all new lava farm which will be a much better fuel source compared to kelp moving forward. The only thing I'm missing is breeze rods, so I located a trail chamber, then found a breeze spawner. Just like the spider farm, I made a manual killing room with a tunnel that leads to the other corner of the brewery. If you're wondering about phantom membranes, I can kill phantoms manually on the roof. And as for nether items like ghast tears, gunpowder, magma cream and blaze rods, well, I have my nether farms for all those things. The only thing I can't farm up is dragon's breath, but that's not that big of a deal. And just like that, the sex dungeon was done. I mean the brewery. And with that, I just spent over 1030 days in this Minecraft world. It's been a good run, and considering it's a forever world, it's not going anywhere. So stay tuned for more episodes in this world, and consider subscribing to support me on my journey. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you guys while you sleep. Bye!